breaking news at home edition of Dolphins Today. It has finally happened after all that speculation last offseason. After my boy Will Scott desperately wanted and was convinced it was going to happen, it finally has. Jordan Poyer is a Dolphin. He has agreed to a one-year deal per all the different major media outlets. Jordan Poyer is heading to the Miami Dolphins to give them some much needed safety help on a contract that's only 1 year. I know will be a lot less expensive than what Brandon Jones ended up getting from the Denver Broncos. Plus, of note, the fact that this is a cut player who is now signing will not drastically impact, and will not at all actually impact, the comp pick formula with where Dolphins sit. So Jordan Poyer is indeed a Dolphin. A lot more reaction to this to come. If you have not already, please hit that subscribe button. I know you had the live cut from NFL Daily earlier. Dolphins news happens, my 2-year-old she doesn't eat dinner great anyway. She'll eat dinner, an extra 10 minutes later. It's not too big of a deal to prioritize this. Hit that sub button if you haven't already for more news, more updates as the Miami Dolphins get a deal done with Jordan Poyer. Don't miss out. Get more coverage right here on the channel. Now, I'm looking here, trying to make sure I haven't missed anything. Have not seen the details on the money yet. 1-year deal for Poyer. I would assume this comes in at maybe 3 or 4. Maybe be my guess. $1 million for Poyer. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. It's not. He got cut. The safety market's pretty saturated. There's a lot of good players still out there. We figured they were going to sign somebody, if not 2 somebodies, to pair with Javon Holland. Could still bring back Sean Elliott. That would not surprise me at all. But Poyer to Jones is older, but it is maybe better in the short term. I think that should matter in these conversations. So a lot more to come here. But I want you guys to grade the signing for me in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. Go ahead and sound off with how you would grade this signing for the Dolphins and Jordan Poyer. 1 year, contract details still be determined. Maybe it comes out here while we're filming. Wouldn't be the first time that's happened before. So get down to the pinned comment, though, and grade it. A, B, C, D, or F. Some stats here I want to mention for Poyer. Look, I will include these in the copy since there's no fancy graphics to showcase here. Last 4 seasons for Jordan Poyer. 16 games played last year. 101 tackles, 2 TFLs, 4 pass breakups. Now, I will make note the interceptions really kind of fell off for Jordan Poyer. Previous years, he had 4, 5, and 3. Dropped down to 0 last year. But his tackles went up. He had the most tackles in that 4-year span this past season. TFLs dropped a little bit as well. Overall, I think Jordan Poyer maybe took a little bit of a step back from the guy he was at his peak and prime in Buffalo, but I wouldn't say significantly took a step back. In fact, his tackling might have gotten even better. Now, look, Jordan Poyer is going to be 33 years old next month. I think age was a big factor in why Buffalo chose to cut him, but adding him isn't a bad thing. You're getting a starting caliber safety on what I assume is going to be a very cheap contract. That's a good thing. It's not impacting your comp pick formula, which I'll look that up and update you guys here on that front momentarily. You're losing other players. Christian Wilkins leaves. Massive deal for Raekwon Davis kind of blows me away, frankly, but we'll talk more about that in a little bit here too. I think adding a player like Jordan Poyer makes all the sense in the world. It is a sensible move. Brandon Jones got canceled out by Aaron Brewer, etc. I think that makes sense. It's smart. This is what a good front office does. You have a player that you had interest in last year, and now you're going to get him significantly cheaper than what it would have been previously. I am a huge fan of that type of move. Now, today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. You go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. They've had stuff like NHL, NBA, PGA Tour. I think today, or at least in the last, since I did this last night with you guys, NFL season prize picks are now available. So more than, less than on passing yards. I'm looking for Tua. Ooh, Tua's not on here. Okay, I'll look what other guys are on here. Tyreek Hill, 1,425.5. So big number on that front there. Other Dolphins who are on this list. Scrolling. Let's see. Tua's got 27 and a half touchdown passes, more than less than on that front right there. You can kind of see it. Touchdowns, Tyreek Hill, 9.5 on that front for Tyreek Hill. Rushing touchdowns, Jalen Hurts at 11.5. That's hilarious. Sacks, I think Dolphins on there. Probably not. No Dolphins on there. But there are some. And that's a good sign. You can do some NFL stuff now. Just know it's not going to cash for a very long period of time. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. I'll put that link in the comments section and the description on today's show. I do want to check in here on the other stuff that has happened for the Dolphins as it relates to the comp pick formula. Now, I will make note that Raekwon Davis, who got $7 million per year, a lot of money, is now just included on this list. It just updated in literally the 30 seconds since I hit refresh. It's crazy. Jordan Poyer will not impact you. So as of right now, you're getting a third for Christian Wilkins. This is for 2025. A third for Robert Hunt. The Andrew Van Ginkel signing is canceled out by the Jordan Brooks edition, so that negates it. Raekwon Davis's deal negated by Aaron Brewer, both $7 million contracts. Van Ginkel and Brooks, both $10 million deals. Sounds like Anthony Walker will not end up qualifying, so that doesn't impact you. Brandon Jones does count for a 6th-round pick. So still some more moves to happen. But looking ahead to next year, you're going to get a third and a 6th. And you're almost swapping. I think about it this way, right? You're paying Jordan Poyer less in free agency in exchange for Brandon Jones, and you're getting a 6th-round pick next year. Now, you don't want to let the comp pick formula override other decisions, deals you want to make, etc. But that's a good deal. You're going to restock the draft pick tool shed next year. I think that's valuable as, in theory, you eventually have a big deal for Tua Tagovailoa hitting your comp picks there. So I think the Jordan Poyer signing, assuming this ends up being a 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it ends up being deal, it makes so much sense. And when Jordan Poyer got cut, we all were like, he's a Dolphin. Like, it just made sense. It's a good fit. I think it's a scheme fit for Anthony Weaver. It fills a need. And Jordan Poyer, he's old. He doesn't have that much left in the tank. He can still play football. He can still be good. He's been good for several years in Buffalo. After a kind of a journeyman career start with Cleveland and the Eagles having him, he goes to Buffalo, breaks out. Maybe he had his best year ever back in 2017. But he's still a good football player. He can still help you. He will help you. And alongside Javon Holland, I think it's a really good fit. And you still want one more safety. I think the Ravens or the Dolphins will use 3, kind of like the Ravens did under Anthony Weaver as their assistant head coach, etc. Now the DC for Miami. I think it's a good move for the Dolphins. So before we go, one word reaction to Jordan Poyer going to the Miami Dolphins. Sound off in the comments section.